Hey everybody, it's Andrew Wong.
We've got something. You're not actually. I'm gonna get the thing. Baby, what do you see? I see the PMC Result 6. These bad boys came in the mail today. While I was in Nashville shooting a documentary with my friend Brian Laws, I got a chance to visit old PMC, set up by my buddy Ethan, now my Sweetwater rep, former bandmate actually. And I said, I would love to try the Result 6s, and they said, you got it. So they sent them to me. Got them today, and I'm pretty excited to see what these suckers sound like in this room. But if you remember in a previous video, I still have a lot of work to do in this particular room. Acoustics. So I guess now the only thing left to do is to open these suckers up. Let's do it. Hey. Look at that. Very pretty.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
This begs the question, why give up on these, or why even switch? And the reality is, I don't really know. I don't even have an answer for that myself. I wanted to try something different. I've had these KRK V8s for 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. I've been in multiple different rooms, 7 or 8 different rooms at this point. And I thought, before I get too settled in this room, I might want to try something new. So I thought maybe the reveals. I have friends that use the reveals. I thought maybe PMC. There's ATC, there's Barefoot, there's PMC, there's Focal, there's all kinds of stuff out there. There's more KRK, but I've heard good things about PMC. I want to try it. So figured why not? It's one of those things where it's like, let's throw some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. At the end of the day, these have been wonderful for me. These V8s are incredible. And if I do decide to go with the PMCs, I'm probably gonna sell these things, because throughout the course of my career, what I tend to do is I tend to sell things like this so that it can help go towards the upgrades of the new things. And there's a lot of new things. As you've seen in a previous video, there's a lot to be done to this room. So speakers, I thought right now would be a good opportunity to learn new monitors in a brand new room that is still only about a third of the way treated in the way that it's going to be. More on that later. All right, let's do this. Feels kind of naked back here without, I mean, look at the difference. Boom, no speaker. Boom, speaker. Anyway. One thing I will say is these are much lighter than those KRKs. I guess, in fairness, this is a 6.5 inch driver and that's an 8 inch driver, but
I need you to be focused.
What do we think? Only time will tell. Okay, a quick aside. I've got to show you this sunset. Come on. Pretty much gets me every time. Look at that. All right, back to work. Let's get these suckers set up, shall we? I'm not showing you the back of this because it is an absolute disaster. It's gonna be a whole video on getting this under control. That is for another day. Here we go. Anybody want to cross their fingers with me? Honestly, I like how these have real straightforward, simple. There's just a volume knob, that's that. The moment of truth. Now we can fire these bad boys on. Let's get it! As Bruce Buffer would say. Time! Indicator light, that's a good sign. These are all good signs. Okay, here goes. Here goes. Wow. The low end is like kind of nuts. Wow. The wild. Well, not too shabby. I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed. The low end was nuts. I couldn't believe how much low end these little guys had. That was insane. A little bit of the piece that you just heard was it's a track that I've been working on for a museum that is opening up in Tulsa, which I'll talk more about. I think I mentioned it here and there, but I'll talk about it a little more once I'm able to. A project I'm incredibly proud of, but that's for another time. These PMCs absolutely rock. For how small they are, I cannot believe what I'm hearing. You were talking about the triangle.
Yeah, we were just doing an equilateral triangle just as a starting place. So long as the acoustic space is kind of the same on either side and your distance front to back from the wall is pretty similar, it should give you, ideally, an even throw. The big picture is really just, this is starting place. So sometimes it's like, these need to go wider or they need to become more narrow, and that's just listening. Taking the time to listen and make sure that the room is reacting as best it can to the speakers, because as much as everybody thinks that the speaker matters, and to some extent it does, the room has more to do with your sound. Like you're on these KRK V8s, which arguably are not the greatest speaker in the world. But who cares? Like, they're going to do a great job. The place where everybody should spend their money is on treatment. It should always be treatment first, because you can make your little Yamaha HS5s sound incredible. And it's not that they sound incredible, it's that your room doesn't have all this extra stuff going on in it.
Right.
And then right now in here we do,
Yeah.
because there's no treatment in here at the moment. Or it's sitting next to the walls, it's not really hung, and really more than anything, it's getting that back wall really sorted and then doing some side panels. If you do the back wall right, it'll be a giant bass drop anyway.
I was actually closer to the wall, and you're like, bro, you need to get further back. Why is that?
Right, I was setting the speakers deeper into the room. Well, the idea of putting the speaker, this is rookie mistake number one, is they want the extra room in their actual bedroom or whatever. One, it doesn't allow, especially if your speaker's rear ported, these aren't the front ported, but still it means all the low end's gonna come out of this little port right here.
Right.
It's gotta have time to develop, right? So if you put something all the way back here, it never works. Your room is always gonna sound boxy and gross, just always. I mean, a lot of acousticians will say that you need to be a third of the way into the room before you even really place your speaker. It may be that you need to get another half cycle of a waveform out this direction. We can figure out what your bass notes are going to be just based on the length of the room.
My sub is on the right side of my desk. Most people might be confused by that, but tell people why that's okay.
Low frequencies are omnidirectional.
Meaning?
They have no particular direction. They don't fire from any one spot. So you're not going to hear the low end coming specifically from the right-hand side of your desk. That means it has no direction.
Right.
It comes from all directions.
I understand.
Right, so the speaker, while it's firing forward, it's moving forward and backwards. Like, high frequencies are terribly directional. Low frequency is not. You got to get used to the room, and you'll make treatment decisions based on your listening.
Yeah.
Fire.
One of the things that you were talking about was phasing. So we're gonna listen to stuff and start moving the sub around.
Move the sub forward or back in time so that when this fires, we want this to fire at the same time.
And hit me here
at
the same time. Thanks. People want to learn. I want to learn.
Yeah. Learning's fun.
For those of you who are new to the channel, please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe and ding the bell if you want to be notified anytime I post new videos. Au revoir. Au revoir. Goodbye.